One thing that's pretty easy is that most of the comics that are brought in are worth very, very little.
This optimist is Matt Trauber, who's been with the store since the early 2000s and appraises between 5 and 10 comic collections a week. He's also right. Most of your comics aren't worth anything. But why?
Most of the comics we see are from the 80s or 90s to present, especially from the 90s speculation boom. Without getting into the whole history of comics, there was a massive speculation boom in the first half of the 90s.
Let's get into the whole history. From the mid-80s to the early 90s, big-name comics like Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns were grabbing mainstream attention. On top of that, news kept breaking of old Golden Age comics like Action Comics #1 selling for thousands of dollars. So the notion of comics as collectibles grew.
People start buying into this collectability aspect, like they're automatically collectible, they're automatically valuable simply because they're comics, which is not true. The old ones are valuable because they're rare.
So, if comic books are not worth much, why do we have them in our museum? Because they illustrate how human spaceflight was imagined over the years. But comic books, rare or not, still need to be taken care of and preserved. Even the Library of Congress has a section on their webpage that will tell you what you, as an amateur collector, can do to preserve your comic books, as will this short video. Storage areas are the most important. Never store your comics in a basement that could be leaky. Attics are dry. So, are they good? No, because you can have a leaky roof or extreme temperatures of heat or cold, which will not be good for the comic book paper. An outside shed is definitely out of the question. An environmentally controlled room in your house will be the best place to store your comics. The most important thing to do is maintaining a relative humidity between 40% and 55% throughout the year, as you see on this hygrometer on the right. Allow for seasonal fluctuations between the two extremes, but holding daily fluctuations to plus minus 3%. You can buy one online or at the hardware store. Storing your comics in acid-free file folders such as these will help to keep them flat and not curl up if stored loose. Gaylord is one of many archival supply stores. If you are going to spend money on special file folders or polyethylene sleeves with UV protection, try not to dog-ear your comics. Use a bookmark. Here are some of the many comic books we have in our collection in their sleeve, starting with this Battlestar Galactica from 1979, Star Trek from 1964, Space 1999 from 1975, and from 1956, with a little damage up top, which is how it came to the museum, Walt Disney's Man in Space. Want to know more about preserving your comics? Besides the Library of Congress, there's the American Institute for Conservation and the Northeast Document Conservation Center. My name is Sue Taylor, Chief Curator for the New Mexico Museum of Space History. Thank you for joining me today for this edition of Into the Vault. Please check out our web and Facebook pages and YouTube channel. We always have something new at the New Mexico Museum of Space History. Thank you.